Not the one I meant to click. Hello and welcome. Well, let's see if this is working now. It is. It's not very loud, and I have the volume up like as far as um, Firebot will let me. I wish I could turn it up more. But I also have it low, like in my headphones. So you may hear it better than I am. But you can let me know. I have added chats and such. So you can check that out. But I don't know what is up with this camera. I've adjusted it the last couple times. Let me see if I can adjust it again. Like, it keeps going back to that, even though... There we go. Like, I keep adjusting the Me camera so it's not so dark, but now my shirt is like... Oh, maybe I did too much now. Let me try to adjust that again. Because it was like this. And I brought it up just a little bit. I don't know why it keeps going back to the dark. But then I have to like adjust it and adjust it and adjust it. In hopes that I don't look so like dark. Because it's not actually that dark in this room. But this camera keeps wanting to go back to that. I don't know why either. Okay, so I think Firebot is working today. I tried the video and it worked. And there are a couple other sounds I did for like redeems. So we'll just have to wait and see if those are found. Let me do the little bit of sorting as people come in. Welcome in, Danny. How are you? Oh crap, that's what I forgot to check. Firebot. I checked everything else, except I forgot about to check Firebot. Okay, or Frosty Tools, not Firebot. That's the one I did check. Okay, still enabled, and still enabled. In theory, FrostyBot should be working. It is. Frosty Tools, whatever, Firebot, Frosty Tools, all the names. They should be working. I know, this one is different, yeah. It's still kind of Texan-y, you know, like cowboy-esque, but it is a different words, because for a while it said like the same thing for you in like every chat I saw it. But this one is different. That's cool though that it changed it up this time. That's not the piece I want, or bin I want, I don't think. Okay, I had car-esque. This isn't necessarily like a car piece, but I'm tired of it being in the bin and sorting around it. So we're just gonna put that in there. Right, I don't know what it's doing half the time, but we're gonna see about making it work. I don't think I have one for that, but I have that. I should have put more pieces from the big bin into this little bin for today, but I didn't, so what you gonna do? Windows. I had a window bin. Ah. windows and doors and such. So, how has everybody's week been so far? Hopefully good. I didn't do anything at all yesterday, really. I kind of just watched Carrot all day. Building the puzzle. Do I have one for these? No. I think I have 2 bins for the same thing. I do. Silly me. Oh wow, that means I can put something in this bin. I think I'm gonna put these little pieces in this one bin because I keep finding a bunch of them. And then I have nowhere to put them. I think I'm gonna double it up. I think for this bin for now I'm gonna put the little wrenches and these circle because they're similar, and later I can sort them out. For one and one. But for now, do I have a no? And of course, now that I've decided to put those somewhere, I won't find any the whole time. Oh well. 'Tis its life and how it goes. Get this piece out of here? Not with that. I have to figure out how to get those separated. Yeah, I definitely should have refilled this bin with more, because I feel like I've gone through all these a bunch and they didn't have I didn't have a place to sort them into right now. And silly me, I had a space for these. It's the wrenches that I didn't. And same with here. I had been putting some of these circle ones. Well, it looks like just one circle one. It really goes up there. I need to put apparently a label on them, because now I'm starting to mix them up. Beto. Did you know? Oh. Welcome in, Crazy. Put that with these. I found a construction hat, but I'm not sure it's Lego, but we'll stick it in there anyway. Of course it is. Of course it is. That being said, their first week of school changes every year in some way. At least slightly. That's right. Now that I decided to make this thing, this particular piece, I'm not gonna find like any pieces like that. That's about right. I mean, if you really want to plan a trip and get the best deals, you should contact Fantasy or Beauty. That's what she does. She's a travel agent and does a lot of Disney trips. Um, so if you wanted to plan out something where we could like save up and pay on it over time, or things like that, you should contact this Beauty.
You know poop is coming, but you know you have nothing to fear. New Pampers Swaddlers with blowout barrier helps prevent up to 100% of leaks, even blowouts.
Welcome in, Steel.
Pampers Swaddlers. Click or tap the link now.
How are you today? I know you were lurky lurkins and carrots. Where was I putting these? I don't know. I guess I'll just stick them there for now. Look at the little tiny bow. Ooh, a mini figurehead. Binoculars. Wrench. I'm working on resin stuff when I'm supposed to be working. Or whatever. Right? Like, I mean, technically you're working, just not on what you're supposed to be. Still technically working, though. Ooh, more wrenches. I can pick them up. I'm gonna have to put like I'm gonna have to take pictures and like tape it to the front of each thing because I can't remember what I have and what I don't anymore. Oh well. Something for another day. Okay. I've sorted what I can for today. I need to switch out that bucket because now I'm left with a lot of stuff that I know I don't have a bucket for to sort, and I'm just keep moving it around. But tis what it is. So I downloaded Firebot, and it didn't work the other day, but it worked today when I tested it. That being said, I tested it, so now it probably won't work now that I'm on. But this is what we're building today. This is what I got for Valentine's Day because they're the only flowers I will accept because they don't die. I've not really like messed with it too terribly much, so I can't say like I love it or anything like that. But it did seem pretty easy to use with the little bit I messed around with it. So I've added some sounds in where you just type a word and it will cause the thing to go off. And I added a video, like a video clip, kind of the same way. Welcome in, Kaz. It was my Valentine's Day gift. I'll show you what I got crazy for Valentine's. As I'm knocking everything over around. Let me. I got crazy this set and this set for Valentine's Day. Yes. It is, but we did ours this past Saturday because we went out to eat and stuff where it was easier to get in. We weren't having to rush or eat super late because he doesn't get home till 6 o'clock, a little after 6. Then by the time we load up the kids and drive somewhere, we're at a half an hour. And then because it's Valentine's Day, you can't get in anywhere, so you wait like another hour to eat. And then it takes an hour to eat, and before you know it, it's 8 o'clock, and the kids at school the next day, and they still have to shower or do stuff. So we did it this past Saturday and just exchanged gifts and things. But that's what I got him. Because he loves farming, like he plays the farm sim game and stuff, and these will light up. Like it's got little lights in the headlights and above for the tractor, and the same way on the car, it's got headlights, and then the inside lights up. So he really likes farming, so that's what he got. I got those. I mean, they're still fun hole sets, but I got them off Amazon because Amazon always has coupons for them. Plus, it ships faster because we have Amazon Prime. So, like, everything comes in 2 days. But yes, this is, so I guess there's 3 different ones. So you have this type of rose where it's kind of more closed, and then you have this one, and then this one where it's open a little bit more. So there are 3 different types of roses in the set. And I don't know how many flowers total because I didn't bother reading the box. I just went, I want it! And it doesn't really say. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 12. So there's probably like 4 of each kind. That's what it looks like. Like there's 4 of each kind. Part of my problem with knocking stuff over is I just take my shoes off and throw them next to the computer, and then I try to set boxes there. We can start up Stream Raiders if you guys are interested. It rolled over to a new type. So I don't like it's in between types, like they'll play this for a couple days. And then they'll start a new like campaign or whatever you want to call it. But we'll do this. And that way if somebody wants to play, it's up, and if not, that's fine too. Otherwise I'll forget about it, is the truth. So there's 3 different books, one for each type of flower. It says, universal expression of love. Millennia ago, Aphrodite, the ancient Greek goddess of love, was said to be so beautiful that roses would rise to greet her wherever she appeared. Ever since then, red roses have been shared as symbols of love, with their beauty, delicate scent, and lush velvety petals. A gift of roses always makes your loved one feel special and cherished on a day of on a romantic first date, Valentine's Day, anniversaries, birthdays, and memorable milestones and moments we share. I don't like flowers, but that's because they die. You spend a lot of money on flowers so they can die. I'd rather just have Legos flowers that don't die. And I found the tweezer I was looking for when I was doing the light up bricks. So when Crazy decides to build his, it won't be as hard, especially with his giant hands. Okay, let me get my mouse out of the way. Some clients are just a-holes who set up a meeting at 4 p.m. Right? Like, don't they have somewhere to be? Don't you have somebody to be, to impress right now? Okay, so it wants us to work on bags 1 and 2 together. I hate when they do this. Just give me the buddy bag. You don't need to like name it a whole nother bag. What was it? Tomorrow will be Boy Wonder's day to cook. So I asked him if he wanted to switch days because it's Valentine's, and he said, no, it's my day to cook. So he's gonna make shake and bake pork chops and yellow rice. With help, of course, but, you know. Okay. It wants us to build 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It wants that, but I think I'm just going to build them one at a time. Which I know will maybe not be the best on stream, but... Oh, we have... Oh, I guess we don't have a focus. Sorry, it confused me because it was showing what it was still, which is weird. It usually goes back to the question mark, but it didn't. It said, in 2006, the rare Juliet Rose sold for $15.8 million. That better be like a diamond rose, like not a flower. That's a lot of money for a flower. So I need to get the single flowers where they aren't bouquets. They just sell like 3 tulips in a box and stuff like that. I need to get those ones, the flowers. But other than that, the only flower set I don't have, besides the single ones, unless... I don't have the Tranquil Garden, but I don't know if you consider that like a flower. That's more like a bigger set. But I don't have the... bonsai, but I don't want it either because that's a lot of tiny pieces. Okay, now it wants us to flip this up. I guess like that. And then take these. Oh, we're gonna have ads in about a minute. I don't know about anybody else, but Twitch was being very twitchy this morning. Like, I was watching Carrot just fine, and then all of a sudden, like, it wouldn't load, and then it would be like a second of him talking and then off. And it went like that for maybe like a half an hour, and then all of a sudden it was like, oop, nothing's wrong anymore. And just went back to working just fine. So, fingers crossed it keeps working just fine. For a second I thought I built that wrong. But no, it wants us to flip this over and put it on the bottom. Ooh, these pieces are interesting. Pieces are slightly different than normal. Oh, look at that. Those fit nice, and then they make it look like a closed flower. And then we put these. Come on, catch. I hate when I can't get them to catch. There we go. Oh, maybe because that one was a little tipped in. Okay, we're in ads. Oh, I missed all the little things. Okay, for Beer Bear, the shoutouts were like crazy. I put the shout out the way your name is spelled there. Oh no, I spelled it wrong. That's why. I fat fingered it. Let me fix that so I don't forget. I was like, why is it being so weird? Because it's not Beer Bear. There it is. There we go. I fixed that. Carrot, thank you for the subscription. 6 months. That is freaking crazy. It does not feel like 6 months. So let's try Beer Bear's shout out again, because that went like crazy. Because apparently I can't spell. Let's try that again. So I missed some little like tidbit informational facts. It says the world's largest rose bush is a Lady Banks in Tombstone, Arizona. Trunk circumference is 13 feet 5 inches. That is giant. And the height is 9 feet, and it covers 8,000 square feet, which is just ridiculous. I know, but it doesn't feel like 6 months ago. And I realized I read that while the ad was on, so you guys probably didn't hear me. It says the world's largest rose bush is a Lady Banks in Tombstone, Arizona. The trunk circumference is 13 feet 5 inches. It is 9 feet tall and has a coverage of 8,000 square feet. That's ridiculous. That is a giant rose. Could you imagine that? A 9-foot tall rose? And this one says, protective sepals caress the delicate rosebud in its early stages. As the bud opens, the sepals release their protective grasp. I know I started in like July, and then I became an affiliate in like August. But it still doesn't feel like that long ago. It feels much shorter. Like, it doesn't feel like it's been that long. Move my mouse back or else I'll forget about it. Okay. So, yep. Brick text. Okay, let me get these two last pieces on. So they want that like that. So I added a niffler sound effect like money tinkling for the brick text, and then the what's hocus pocus when they're yelling for their book, for the book talk. Make sure I'm looking at the right. Okay, this one. So book talk. I have the next one ready, but I haven't really started to read it, so I can't tell you what it's really about beyond like the blurb. But I just finished one last night, and it was the third book in the Honey Bear Cozy Mystery series. So it's this author writes a lot of male books, and at least one of the characters in the book is always autistic because the author is autistic. And so that's how she chooses to write. Oh, I got the wrong type of brick. Like, you know what I mean? She writes from what she knows. So, this is the third book in the series, and I'm trying to look at my regular instructions to do the brick text. That's not going to work. Okay, so we added this brick and these two. And so no, the next diamond dot hasn't been claimed. You're gonna claim everything all at once, crazy? Okay, so I need one of these and one of these. All I have left for the diamond dots is I have a full face Sally and a full face Jack. Now we're working on the stem. It's like August, and the last 2 months, which each month they've had some kind of murder. Like the first book, the two guys, they weren't together. They'd been crushing on each other for a while from afar. And the one guy, he owns a brewery. He does mead. It's only mead. That's the only thing that he makes at his brewery. And so they have an event once a month that's like a tasting of whatever like specialty mead he's been making. And so they're having a thing, and somebody is murdered at the tasting, why dry ice, and so they think that maybe he was involved in the murder, right? So then the guys wind up investigating it, and they wind up getting together while they investigate. There's no sexy time in this book because there just isn't, beyond like hand holding and the occasional kiss. So Steele could read it and be okay, as long as she's okay with the idea that it's male. They don't really talk about anything though, so and then in the second book, the other guy, George, he gets a new neighbor, and his neighbor hates. Closed captioning thought you said clean instead of clean. What was I saying? And George has bees, and he's got like his whole garden is designed to attract pollinators and things like that. And his next door neighbor was allergic to bees, and so he hated that he had bees. He's like, you need to keep your bees off my property. Like he could control where the bees went. And that guy wound up being murdered, and so then they thought George had something to do with it. And so this is the third book, and they're like, we've had enough murders. Like, can August just be a, an easy month? Let's go into fall, and they take place in England. These books are in like Cardiff and stuff. So that's it. Now we make 3 more, and I don't have a vase to put these in right this second, which was silly on my part, but nonetheless. It says, no one knows the exact origin of the abstracted symbol for a heart, but it has appeared on Greek vessels as early as 400 BCE. So we have a little heart brick. So we go back and we make 3 more. So in this book, it starts out, George is at his cousin Margot's house, who lives literally just down the lane from him. And he is leaving with his elderly pug, and the pug is never on a leash. It just follows him, and it doesn't like run off or attack people or anything like that. So he just like, come on, Buzz, let's go. Because the pug's name is Buzz. And the dog, for some reason, takes off in the opposite direction. He's like, what is going on with you? And so he follows the dog, and the dog finds a dead body in the middle of the lane. And he's like, oh no, they're going to think my dog killed her. And so he immediately calls the police and his boyfriend, and he tells them, what happened. And they come, and the police are like, we know you and your dog did not kill her. It's obvious she's been dead for a couple hours already. And so he's like, whew, I swear he didn't kill anybody. They're like, we know your pug didn't kill anybody. And this is like a small little town. And so like everybody knows everybody. The police, they all grew up with the people who are police now. So, so they all know each other. And, so, the next day they come and they're like, yes, we can like not that you were ever on the suspect list, but you can relax. You're definitely off. She was dead for hours before you found her. She was bashed in the back of the head. But be careful. Because it was a woman who was killed, but she married another woman. She's like, but be careful, because the other bride does not believe, for some reason, believes you had something to do with it. Whether you saw something, you heard something, and you're just not saying it. That's what she believes. So we've told her to leave you alone, but that doesn't mean she will call us if she contacts you. If she starts to pester you. And sure enough, like almost immediately the woman shows up at his door accusing him of something, and they have to have the police come take her away. And he's like, it's weird though, because she showed up with her brother, and neither of them, while there was a lot of shrieking and yelling, they kept saying how devastated they were at her loss, but there were no tears, and it didn't seem believable. You know what I mean? It felt to him like a show. And he's like, he goes, but his whole thing is like, but I'm autistic, so maybe I'm not understanding it, because I'm not good at understanding stuff like that. So maybe it's just how I'm interpreting it, and that's not what really happened. And so he asked his boyfriend, because his boyfriend was there at the time. He's like, no, I agree. Something didn't seem right. And then not long after, the woman who died, her cousin shows up and is like, I want to apologize. But then she almost acts like she's afraid to say too much, and she takes off. And they're like, okay, that was weird too. And so now they've had like 2 weird interactions with people, relatives to the deceased. It didn't make sense. And then so they, the people are like, do not investigate, because they have a habit of investigating the crimes themselves, they're like, do not investigate. And they're like, listen, we won't. But then, of course they can't help themselves, and they begin to wonder and ask questions, and so like, it's weird, like, as the story goes. The girl, like, they aren't actually, like, contrary to the other 2 books where they, like, were trying to get people to talk to them to solve the crime because they were somehow being implicated in the crime. This time, they don't want to be involved in the crime, like investigating the crime, but the people involved won't leave them alone. So they keep getting pulled in whether they like it or not. And so eventually they're like, fine, if the crime won't leave us alone, then we'll investigate it. And so they are walking down the lane near where the body was found, and they're just like looking in the bushes and stuff. They're like, maybe we'll see something the police missed. It's unlikely, but not impossible, right? And so they wind up finding a piece of jewelry that belonged to the deceased. It had like the initials for each bride on it, and so they don't touch it. They immediately call the police and have them come pick it up, and the guy's like, you 2 are gonna drive me batty, just stay out of it. And they're like, in fairness, we were trying to, but it wouldn't leave us alone. So then they head to the bed and breakfast where like people from the wedding party were staying, and they're like, so did you happen to find anything in the rooms? Did they leave anything behind? And they're like, no, but it was weird. Like, the bride and her brother, the surviving bride and her brother, like, checked out to move into like a B&B as if they were staying longer, And then all the relatives that had been staying there just like up and disappeared at like 5 a.m, which is odd. And what's odder is that, like, you stay in a hotel room, there's gonna be some garbage, whether it's like a stray tissue or whatever. And being that they got ready for a wedding there, you definitely think there would have been garbage, but there was like nothing in any of the rooms, which was like super weird. Who takes their garbage with them? Who isn't trying to hide something? And so they're eating breakfast, and she's like, the wife of the, because the B&B is owned by a husband and wife. The wife is like, did you hear about the argument though? The brother of the surviving bride was trying to get her to cancel the wedding, he didn't believe the deceased was good enough for his sister. And they're like, we did hear about that. Like, we heard he didn't approve of her. We didn't hear that he was like trying to get the wedding canceled right up until it was happening, basically. And she's like, yes, it's really weird. And throughout the book, though, that brother and sister shows up all over town, like constantly arguing with each other, which is like, I mean, siblings argue, but it's a little weird. Like, they have no trouble trying to air their dirty laundry for people who could potentially, you know, wind up being questioned about the murder. This rose, or these pieces, don't like to go on the road. So then the guy goes, the husband of the B&B owners goes back upstairs and he goes, it's weird. I always empty the garbage, you know, all at once. That way I don't accidentally miss something. He goes, and I didn't find any garbage, but now there was a piece of garbage in one of the trash cans that was like a bloody note. And so they're like, don't touch it, call the police. And so they do, and the police come get it, and they're like, why is it always you two? Why are you always involved? And they're like, we try not to be, but we wind up. So what can we say? And then they talk about the B&B. So they're like, okay, we'll go for a walk near the B&B, or the B&B, like the Airbnb, to see if they're still in town, you know. And they get there, and like the surviving bride like immediately attacks George, saying that he knows something, he's hiding something. And they're like, there's video footage of showing when he arrived and when he left his cousin's house. He couldn't be involved. He didn't see anything. And so the police are called again, and they take her in, you know, for assault now, because duh. And they get George checked out at the local hospital just to make sure, because she did choke him. Yep. Okay, there's no more in that one for that. You tank and I'll shoot. Looks like we have 2 enemies. Oh yeah, it is close to being done. Okay, I'm trying to keep the set separate so that I can make sure I have all the pieces, but it doesn't seem to want to do that. I looked for Stream Raiders and I didn't see it. If you type in, what is it, !battle, it should bring it up if you don't see it. But that's alright, we're going to play it multiple times. And I did see that it went off. Just let me find the last bits of pieces for this step. That way, I'm sure I have them all. Those are all be for the last step. And we'll set our flower in there. It might not do it now because it's technically over, but it'll pop up the next time. Like when I set my person down or I choose the battle, it'll pop up. Beer Bear. Okay, so I'll put that on us. And we'll do this. Yeah, it's weird. Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. Oh, look at that. Crazy. You got the most kills and I got the most assists. Ziggy, I'm not talking to you.
Sorry. I thought I had your name.
Ooh, I wonder who will get the award. Yeah, it's weird. I know I've hit like favorite on people before and then it's not there, and so I have to wait until they decide to do it again and catch their stream to make sure I do it. I don't know why it does that. I was just making sure I didn't finish any quests to collect the things. Okay. They look the same because this is a chance of common scrolls or gold. Common scrolls or gold. So I'll go this way though. And I will put up my bomber. And map thingies. In case you have a quest that wants you to follow battle plans. So it should be up there now, Beer Bear, to join the thing, the battle. Whatever. I can't talk today apparently, so there's that. Okay, let's make sure I have these in the right direction. Yes. So he gets attacked and she gets hauled in. And then again, the cousin shows up like the next morning at like super early. It doesn't make any sense. And she's like, I want to apologize, can I come in? I think they're going to kill me. And they're like, what? Why would you drive all the way out of the village to our house? We're not the police. We can't really help you, you know? And she's like, no, they're gonna kill me. And they're like, okay, but why come to us? We can't help you. So they called the police, to come get her because they can't help her. And they told them what happened, and they took her away, to get her story and give her help if she needs it. And so it's like so weird how they keep like coming to them. And finally, George has been through a bunch, because of the attack and stuff. So he goes home, and Murphy, who's his boyfriend who owns the pub, he stays at the pub to do some work. And he's like, I'll give him some time and then I'll go check on him. And then they see the pug running down the lane. And they're like, that doesn't make any sense. He would never like just leave Murphy, like, like that. So something's got to be wrong. And so they call the police and whatnot, because as they see the pug, they like the brother of the bride shows up, and he's like screaming at them about, what did you do? I know you had something to do with it. And they're like, listen, dude, she attacked him. That's why we called the police. And he's like, no, that's not why. I know. And then he like goes on this tangent, and he's like screaming at them, and they're like, dude, you don't know what you're talking about. And he's like, it's Poppy. And they're like, what does her cousin have to do with this? And he's like, she's the one who did it. And they're like, how do you know that? And he's like, because I saw her. So the whole time, the brother of the surviving bride has known that the cousin of the deceased bride had hit her in the head, over the head with a rock, potentially killing her. And they're like, well, why didn't you tell the police? And he's like, it's not my job, is it? He's like, that's not my job. It's their job to figure out who did it, not mine. their Nightmare Before Christmas headband. I was looking for a Jack Skellington sound to go with this, but I didn't find one yet. Frankly, it's like the names, I forget about adding them to the last minute, so I forget to go look for a sound until like the last minute as I'm setting up. I'm going, yeah, that would be cool, and then I'm frantically looking around for one. Five, six, seven. Did I do that right? No. Oh, I skipped a step.
Having health insurance is important. So, if you or
So,
anyone in your family has Medicaid or CHIP, listen up.
So we,
Check your mail for a renewal form from your state.
the police are there, and they've grabbed the brother, and they're like, well, since there's stuff you didn't tell us, looking and working and place. So thank you, Beer Bear. They're like, well, since you obviously knew things you didn't tell us, why don't you come down to the station with us? And they're like, well, something's got to be wrong with George, because the pug would not leave him like that. So we're not waiting for you to follow. We're going to go check on him. And so it turns out that Polly had shown up, once again claiming to want to apologize for her in-laws, and kept insisting that he heard something or saw something. And he's like, I didn't. I've told you all multiple times. I did not see or hear anything. And she didn't want to believe him, and he won't let her in the house. He just keeps like, he stepped out on the porch, and then he closed the door and stuff. He's like, because I'm not letting this nut job in my house. These people are weird, and they just seem off. I'm not letting her in the house. And then she pulls a gun on him, talking about how she knows, and she saw on TV that if there's no witnesses, you can't be convicted of the crime because they can't prove anything. And so she's going to get rid of him because he's the only witness, except he didn't witness anything. I have like a full set of 30s. Oh, that's cool, Beer Bear. None of mine are that high. I even like on my like one where I play, not just as the captain, but like I actually play the game. I think like 17, or I have like a level 12 or something. I think my highest on here is 17 as a captain, but that's about it. So these are the 4 of the closed type roses. Then we move on to book 2, which is going to be the partly open roses. Oops. And I bet it's gonna have bags 3 and 4 open at the same time. Let me see if it says the same thing. Nope, it doesn't. It says, like your favorite memories with your loved ones, the Lego bouquet of roses truly comes alive when shared. Whether you give or receive them as a gift or join in the building experience together, these roses are guaranteed to flourish anywhere and cast a vibrant glow on your special occasion. The variety of stem lengths reflects different phases of growth, from delicate buds to bold blooms. Whether you want to refresh your special memories and your bouquet, you can return to your voluptuous arrangement and adjust it to suit your mood. Yeah, because technically they say... well, it's just repeating myself, and that's where I get like messed up, because then I start to build too fast. Yep, it wants bag 3 and 4 at the same time. And they say up to 3 people can build this set with you because there are 3 different types of roses. So then, and plus I'm having 2 bags open at the same time versus just 1 bag. So that gets through them faster too. Yeah, we just exchanged ours on Saturday when we had the thing, and I gave the kids theirs last night. The kids each got a bigger tube of mini M&Ms, and then they got a bag of Poppet pets. They love the Poppets, so they got those for Christmas. They got, or not. Well, they got Poppets. They got a special holiday Christmas Poppet set in their stocking. But then they also got regular, and I bought a bunch when they were on sale to kind of hold back and give to them. And so last night they opened their last of the ones I had bought on sale. And right after Christmas, because I bought it while it was on sale with the Christmas stuff. This big, huge one. It had like 70 Poppet pets in it of all like different sizes, and you had to solve the mystery and go around. It was fun. They like Poppets, so they have tons of them. Where's the angled one? Oh, there it is. It wants this on top and this. Yes, but she tries to shoot him, and then the police come, and it turns out she killed her cousin because of jealousy, essentially. Her cousin was Miss Perfect. She had the perfect job and the perfect life and the perfect girlfriend. And there's Polly, pathetic Polly. She would never gets picked for anything, and blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, her cousin killed her because she was jealous. Eat candy and hydrate. I have milk chocolate mint cookie Ghirardelli squares. And brick tax again, okay. Right? Like, chances are the cousin probably did deserve it. It sounded like the whole family deserved it. Like, they were crazy the entire book. Like, everybody felt they deserved something that was really somebody else's. Like, calm down, people. Okay. We do this piece, this piece, this piece, and then that piece facing in. So we basically did this little wall right here. Okay, what does it say here now? Thorns are often removed from cut roses, but some have escaped during the pruning clippers. Here they are represented by horn elements which appear in a dark red for the first time. Today's cup has hearts on it. And a kind of shiny, reflective top. It's like cut, angled and stuff. So brown and oh, it's not in my hand where I thought it was. So that's the horn in the first, this red color for the first time. Right? Okay, so there was a video going around, I don't know, a couple months ago, and I guess they asked these moms if they would unalive somebody for their child. Like, if somebody was trying to hurt their child, would they unalive them to protect them? And so the first half of the moms were like, oh, I don't know if I could do that. That seems bad. I mean, maybe hurt them, but not unalive them. And I was like, you gave me an excuse to take out all my aggression? Listen, I always tell Crazy, and it's going to make me seem uber crazy, and I don't care, that my dream job is those people who work on black sites torturing people. That's my dream job. Please keep your secrets and let me continue to have fun. Don't tell me, I don't want to know. But Crazy always says I wouldn't pass that psych test. Blank spots on the map. Ooh, I'll have to look that up. Let me write it down so I don't forget it. Like, keep your secrets. I have 1 million ways I've thought about torturing people. Let me start with idea number 1. But Crazy says I wouldn't pass that psych test. Crazy, in the military, his job was secret squirrel business. He worked underground, no windows, one door for like 12 years of his career at different places. Right? Like, death would be a better option to what I'm going to do with you if you go after my child. And like, then a whole bunch of people like made like clip, you know, how you can stitch into the video, and they're like, one guy was like, they didn't talk to any Southern moms because they killed because it was Tuesday. I am a Northerner, and I would kill for the kid down the street that I didn't even know. It's not really about the kid. It's about I could legally do it and get away with it now because it was in defense of others. There were a lot of civilians that worked with him in those type jobs. Yeah, don't get away. If somebody's hurting my kid or any kid, I will gladly. Like, I won't go to jail. It's in the protection of a minor. I am not going to jail. I don't care. I would, please. I would take you. I wouldn't take you out. I'd drag you somewhere in a hole where I could play with you for a little while. It says, a rose by any other name would smell as sweet, but when the overnight sensation rose was tested in a space shuttle, researchers discovered its scent was different in the zero-gravity environment. That's interesting. Yeah. There's a bunch of, like, weird jobs. I always thought it was funny the amount of spouses who had no idea what their husband did. And I don't mean like secret squirrel couldn't know. They just didn't. Right? I would like do unspeakable things if somebody tried to hurt my child. Crazy was calm, so it was all computers. But if anybody who knows anything about computers knows that comms span, especially in the military, anywhere from the guy who makes sure you can have email to the guy who literally digs the trenches to put the line down, like to radio, to it's everywhere. You know, there's a lot. It's not just one thing. Yeah, I mean, it's so much. Com is like the largest, especially in the Air Force, it's like the largest grouping. Like, it's got the most jobs under one kind of header. So this is how they are looking so far. Yeah, even like the Weather Dome guys, they were considered calm, at least in part. But yeah, I was like, I can find that video and we can watch it if you want. It makes like no sense. I was like, I went through all that pain and suffering to have a child. I'm the only one who gets to take them out. Right? Like, the hat for the instructor job. I'm still willing to help thee. Okay. Like I said, in the end, it was all up to you. But yeah, I can find that video and we can watch it. It didn't make any sense. I was like, I don't know a single mother alive who doesn't think that they brought that child in. They're the only one who can take it out. Like, I would totally jack somebody up with very little empathy in the end. It says overlapping mudguard elements help recreate the intricate layering of rose petals. Yeah, it was like the weirdest video. I was like, what mothers did you ask? Were these real mothers or actors pretending to be mothers? Because I don't know a single one who wouldn't take someone out for looking at their kid kind of funky. I said I was telling them about that video where they ask all those moms if they would kill for their child, and they're like, I don't know if I could do that. Right? Like, you didn't ask, and I don't want to say a real mom, but you didn't ask, you know. Like, I dare you to try to take my child or harm them. Jail is gonna look a whole lot more pleasant than what I could do to you. Death would look a whole lot more pleasant than what I would do to you. Okay, so they had me put them on like that, and then we carefully, because you gotta kind of have them overlapping, up into that rose pattern. Let me see if turning on my works a little better. No, that just made it glary. Right. I was like, I don't think you asked the right group of people, because I don't know a single woman who wouldn't take out a person for their kid. Right? Like, right? Like, I don't know who they were asking, but I think these were actors posing as parents, because you didn't ask people who really had kids. Right? Like, I was way out of the formula during the height of the pandemic, but I have driven and done some things. And because my kids were small and still are kind of small for their age, I was still wearing like a 5-year-old who only weighed 35 pounds. Oh, Kevin, it's a new one, so you get to have it. I have Jack or Sally. And of course, I can't get the sun to stop reflecting. These are the two I have left. Jack. Okay, let me put Sally back. And stop bumping, you know, everything on my desk. Okay, I need to clean up my desk. There's like a million things all over it. But yes, I was like, I don't know who they spoke to, but it wasn't. It was an actor. There's no way that was a real parent. Where did I put that? Up here. Okay, no, it's the right one. It just got out of the bag. Yeah, well, he asked, and I said no. I don't think he wants it per se. I think he just wants them finished so I can move on to the ones from Christmas, which I get to keep. I think that's what he really wants, because they're the ones he got me for Christmas, but I haven't been doing them in order to save them kind of for on stream. But I'm not going to send them to people. These are going to be mine to keep. But they make, when you put the coasters that I got for Christmas, like when you set them out next to each other, they make a bigger picture. And one is like Starry Night, and another one is like the moon from a Van Gogh. If I can get this paper to peel up, but look at the time. 37. I think that's what he wants. I don't know though. I thought, and I asked in Carrot's stream yesterday, I asked him what he thought. And some of you were probably in there, so this is a question you've probably already heard. I asked Carrot yesterday what he thought about doing something like his puzzle redeem, but with diamond dots. You know, I put a redeem in there where you can redeem, and I work like on a bigger project for some of the stream or for a whole stream, whatever. And he said that, or do like another redeem where I work on a bigger project for some time. But what do you guys think about that? Or would you not rather see something like that or have something like that? I don't know what I'm talking. I don't know how to phrase it anymore. Oh, and one of the games I had on my Steam wish list is like 80% off. It's called The Last Campfire. So I downloaded the like demo of it, and I'm gonna try that and see how the game plays. I don't know if you were in Carrot stream yesterday when I asked him yesterday what he thought about doing like a redeem, like his puzzle redeem, but with the diamond dots. So I would either work on it for like an hour or two, like a bigger project, or maybe just add it as a redeem where I work on it for some time, kind of like I do with the coasters. I don't know. I'm bad at thinking of things to do. Welcome in, Exposing Alex. How are you doing? How is Joe doing? Has he gone to bed yet? Easily, hopefully, if he did. So I thought about doing that kind of like I have the one where you can pick the next Lego or like Carrot's puzzle redeem, something like that, where it'd be like, you know, I don't know, a crazy amount of points, but then the next stream I would work on like just the bigger project or something like that. I don't know. I'm not sure how well you guys actually like watching me do Diamond Dots, if that's really interesting or what. I find it like a almost like it takes no brain power. Okay, let me go back up. I am trying to form a Lego association team, so Carrot here, then someone else till 5 p.m. So whatever you want to do, will probably be swing by. Okay. Steel says, I got points to burn to it. I didn't want to claim it because I already claimed 2 and I wanted someone. Listen, I want to tell you that Steel has 6 coasters over there that she had no trouble claiming. 5, and then Carrot claimed 1 to send to her. We're okay, he's still up. I'm just making his tea. Thank you. I'll need to reduce some redeems. I love the Diamond Dots. Yeah, I was like, I don't know how much, you know, from a viewer standpoint. And I know we talk and do other things, so even if it was like a whole stream, you know, there'd still be like stream raiders and chatting and right. So I might put that on there between this stream and next stream, you know, like add it to the redeems. Because right now my big one is the 2 fishy ones I showed you guys the other day on Sunday. Oh, I don't think you were on Sunday. I showed because they were on my desk. I had showed what my new big one was. Yeah, Fantasy Go, yeah. Right, like, I don't know, I try to think of things to put in the redeems, but I can never think of, like, things to do, and then I'm like, I don't know, will they like that? Would people like that? Because I'm not undoing any steps. And I'm not eating anything spicy. So. And I don't have any onesies to wear. I can't speak Japanese. I can't even speak German or Spanish, really. Like, I could when I was younger, but I don't anymore because I don't have people to converse with. Like, my grandparents spoke Pennsylvania Dutch, and so I would talk to my grandmother in Pennsylvania Dutch, but then after she died, like, my mom and my grandfather could talk it too, and some of my aunts and uncles, but nobody wanted to talk in it. They all wanted to speak English. So I kind of, like, forgot. Listen, if I take off my glasses, I can't see, period, because I'm blind, basically. So, funny story about my glasses. When I first got told I needed glasses, they were like, oh, because it's opposite. You know, farsighted means you can't see near, and nearsighted means you can't see far. I don't know why they did that. It doesn't make any effing sense. But I only needed them to read, like, up close. And they were like, if you wear your glasses all the time, you could fix it. And I was like, oh, really? And they're like, yeah. So if you wear them all the time, then you could potentially fix it. So I wore them all the time, just like they said. And when I went back, they're like, oh, we should have made your appointment sooner. You've overcorrected, and now they're bad the other way. So now I can't see crap. Like, if I take them off, like if I don't wear them driving, I have to count the exits because I cannot read the sign until I'm on top of it. So yeah, like they made them worse, like really bad in the opposite form. It's bad. Yeah. And I can't wear contacts because my eyes don't like it. Like, if I get like real close, my eyes will just start like rapid blinking, and I can't get the contact in my eye. I had the eye doctor try once, and it took him like a half an hour to get one in, and then we couldn't get it back out because my eye kept doing the same thing, blink, 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 blink. So contacts are not an option for me. And I have pudgy cheeks, so I have to be careful what kind of glasses I get, or they literally touch my face. Like, even these have a very low, like, in between where my cheek and my glasses are. So I can only get certain kinds of glasses, otherwise they touch my face, and that bugs the crap out of me. Okay, I have to go up. I missed something in my chatty chat. Okay, not as much as I thought I missed. Well, isn't the motherland Russia? Isn't that what they always refer to as the motherland? Oop, we're in ads. Here I am asking questions when we're in ads. Yeah, like fatherland is Germany, motherland is Russia. Yeah. That's what I was pretty sure, that Russia's often referred to as the motherland, and then fatherland is Germany. I was like, but who knows? Maybe I'm, watching the wrong things, reading the wrong things, and that's not true. Yeah, oh great, the neighbors are fighting again. The origin of the name Africa is greatly disputed by scholars. Most believe it stems from words used by the Phoenicians, Greeks, and Romans. Important words include the Egyptian word Afrikia, meaning motherland, but the Greek meaning without cold, and Latin meaning sunny. Right? Like, I don't know. I've just always heard Russia was motherland and then Germany was fatherland or whatever. But I suppose it does matter, like, the groups of people you're exposed to. I'm sure more than one country is referred to like that. But it just matters, like, contextually within the group that you're talking with. Yeah, I imagine it just matters, like, the group. I'm sure more than one country is referred to that way, and it's just different. I'm always surprised by the amount of people who don't realize Puerto Rico is technically part of the United States. Yeah, they'll tell people to go back to where they're from, and they're like, technically, it's still the United States. It's Puerto Rico. Yeah. Yamamoto's like, clearly you guys didn't pay attention in any class growing up, or you would know that it's a territory of the United States, and technically, they are home. Yeah, they every year or every couple years, Puerto Rico votes on whether they want to become a state or not. But staying a territory means they get all the protection of being a state, but they don't pay taxes. However, when the hurricane comes through and destroys it, they do take their time going to help them because they refuse to become a state for so long. Yeah, they're like, we'll come help you, but on our time, not yours. Just being where people are from, because ties better to the whole Mother Earth thing. Yeah, like I said, I'm sure more than one country is referred to in that way. Let's go to Stream Raiders. I heard it go off, but I didn't want to stop in the middle of that redeem to set it off. So we have 27 allies. Yeah, they do. It depends on how much you've irritated them or not, how quick they are to respond. Now, help in a loose sense. Crazy got some Paladin Scrolls, Melchin got Warrior Scrolls, and Beer Bear got 15 gold. Make sure I didn't finish. Nope. Okay, now the next one is a silver chest, so there is a better chance of uncommon scrolls and more gold. Okay, Steel, when I select this battle, a thing is going to come up, and you have to click the link. See the link that's in chat? Click that link, and you can put people in. Let's see, who do I want? I'll put my vampire up. Yeah, click the link that came up, and it'll take you to a website, and then you play that way. So you do have to go to a separate thing, but you can. Okay. Move my mouse out of the way. Roll this back. So, once this on top of this 4 times. So we might go to Memphis this weekend to IKEA, and IKEA has Legos now. Like, IKEA teamed up with Lego brand to make like Legos that are you can only find at IKEA essentially. So I might pick a small thing up while I'm there. I looked at them last time we were there, but who knows. Okay, so we have 4 of those. Yes, IKEA is dangerous, but we need more shelving and a new couch for our camper. So I've seen a lot of people replace their couch in their camper with a couch from IKEA. So we plan on trying that. I'm trying to figure out how exactly they want these on there, but that looks right. We have a camper. It's 32 or 35 feet and sleeps 10 people. There are 4 of us. It's not the greatest camper, and I kind of want to get rid of it, but the other option is also to strip the inside and redo it, which I've seen a lot of people do on like YouTube and stuff. They like take the cabinets out and they put better cabinets in and all kinds of stuff. But I don't know if we'll do that or not. But it is a thought. Yeah, when we go camping, we I mean, I still rough it because it's hot as balls out, but not really. So there's this rose. It's like kind of open. Nope, probably not that piece. This piece. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's Pancake Day. Is it like International Pancake Day? I know like literally every day is something, like Pirate Day, Donut Day, Ice Cream Day. Like literally every day is something. Oh, my kids wanted tacos, but I think I forgot to take taco meat out. I can make pancakes. I'd be like, it's Pancake Day, we're having pancakes. English pancakes? Do you mean like, oh, what are they called now? The thin ones? They have a name, but I can't think of it. Oh, I missed a little. It says the rose is the national flower of the United States. I did not know that. Okay. So Shrove Tuesday, but non-religious people call it Pancake Day. Ah, Fat Tuesday. Like the end of Mardi Gras, isn't it Fat Tuesday? Yeah, crepes, that's the word. But technically they're not the same. No, I know they're not technically the same, but that's always what I think of them as. Right, is today Fat Tuesday though? Crazy mentioned that last night too, and I was like, whatever. Oh, they want it all the way over. So we gave it some leaves, and the leaves spin. I should get it in frame, right? So then wouldn't that make tomorrow ash right? That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Because I'm not religious and I don't follow any of that. So I have no idea. Okay, I made the one by itself. Now we'll go back and make the other 3. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I keep seeing the Mardi Gras cakes with the baby inside. It was indeed Ash Wednesday. Oh, see? Okay. I just asked because I honestly didn't know. Like, Crazy mentioned it last night, but I'm like, what do I care if it is or not? I don't give up things for Lent. Yeah, like I don't give up for things for Lent, and I don't do Mardi Gras because I would bring a friend home with me if I went to New Orleans. A friend nobody could see, but I'm sure would let me know they were around. So when we first started dating, Crazy was still like religious, going to church every Sunday with his family and stuff. And he was like, we do Lent. And I was like, congratulations, I don't. And he's like, well, you got to give something up. Everybody does. And I was like, I'm not religious. I don't have to give anything up. And he's like, come on, just do it. I was like, okay, fine. I'll give up sex for Lent. How's that? That was not the answer that he was looking for, in case anybody was wondering. It's the day to use up all the sweet things in your house. Most will use them up on pancakes. That's what I was taught in school. Okay. Yeah, but I was like, listen, if I really got to give something up for Lent, I'll give up sex. Needless to say, there was no more talk about what I had to give up for Lent. Listen, I don't know that anybody needs my kind of perceived conception on things in their life, but it is fun to listen to. I know that. People think I'm crazy. And I probably am a little bit, but that's okay. Because I don't mind. And nobody's forcing you to be around me. All our flowers are getting their one thorn. So in my house, the kids either have syrup, and I always have 3 syrups on hand. I have blueberry syrup, strawberry syrup, and regular maple syrup. Or the kids have dairy-free whipped cream they put on their pancakes, their waffles. There's Nutella. Sometimes there's fruit. You're a mod on this channel. It's just we don't abide by the language. Captain America is not in here yelling language, people. Right? Like, I don't give up anything. I'm not religious, so I don't have to give up anything. Fantasy went with her art group to one of the local retirement homes, and they gave candy out to all the residents. Yeah, I don't give anything up. So Crazy kept going with his mom, and I mean, both the kids are baptized, but really, once we moved away, we really stopped going. And my mother-in-law kind of, like, she took a big break, and I don't think she's really, like, back the way she used to be after her mom died. Once her mom died, she, like, seemed to take a big step back. And she died. Trying to think when she passed. I think it might have been Fantasy wasn't very old. And I mean, yeah, because I don't think we were going as much once Boy Wonder was born. They weren't going, but they're still both baptized. But Crazy went to a Catholic high school, an all-boy Catholic high school. And my nieces and nephews go to private Catholic schools. My kids just go to public school. Yeah, Boy Wonder. Because he makes me wonder. I also call him Turticus Rex. Turdlet. He's got many names. Shortened versions of his name, which is kind of short to begin with, but no, he has dressed up as the Mandalorian, as Darth Vader. He's been Iron Man. He's been like 3 versions of Captain America. He was Buzz. He was a vampire his very first Halloween because of his name. What else has he been? He was an axolotl this past year. Trying to think what else. He's been a lot of things, but he's never been Robin. I'm not sure he's been Batman either. He usually winds up not wearing the mask because he doesn't like the way they feel in his face. Yep, none of those. He was a pirate, and his sister was the parrot to his pirate. He was a knight, and she was a princess. For a while, they did corresponding outfits, and they picked them, so it wasn't like, I want you to dress like your sister or match your sister. They have always been attached at the hip. Only like in the last year, now that they're both teenagers, are they sometimes like grouchy with each other, but generally they've always been attached at the hip. It was like having twins a lot. They are pretty cozy with each other. They are weird kids. Like they aren't like they don't fight like normal siblings do, hardly at all. And it's funny because they will ignore each other all day long. But as soon as it's time to eat, it's like they have to catch up on everything. They had no other opportunity. I'm like, you guys can talk to each other at any point in time. Why does it have to be when it's like time to sit down and eat that you guys can't stop talking? Like, you can't eat because you can't stop talking. But yeah, they've always been all about each other. And when they were younger, the doctors told us it had probably had something to do with the fact that she was like the same size as he was. So they didn't view each other as different ages because little kids don't know age. They only know Timmy's the same size as me, we're the same. So because they were like the same size, they didn't view each other as different ages. And the doctor said that's why he learned things like ahead of time, because he thought, well, we're the same size, we should know the same things. So that's why they think it helped propel him a little bit to learn things like super early. Book, we need our own matching emotes. Like just you and me, or more than just us? No, I don't want to copy you. Me and Book will have our own. Okay, we can look for ones and send them to each other. And until we find one we agree on. Okay, now I gotta make sure I put these on correctly. They're at the corners. She just said, not you, Carrot. You can't be in the club. I guess she feels left out because now you have a dumpster fire and she does not. So she needs something that's the same. No carrots allowed. Trying to make sure I do the little grouping on camera, but made a matching emote with literally everyone else but me. Steel has a dumpster fire? I didn't know Steel has a dumpster fire. I mean, it's not really mine. It just came in my original kit thing. And I kept it because it's fantastic. It's a dumpster fire. I don't, like I said, it's like I don't have any like control. I didn't design the dumpster fire myself. It came in my layout overlay whatever kit. Think Steel is mad at Kara for not having an emote of her the way he does. Well, yeah, he got a matching dumpster fire similar to mine for me. Yeah, so he doesn't have one. He should just have an Eevee or a Sailor Moon. Hydrate. I see you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, you said you were trying to find one that represented her when you had introduce the other ones. But apparently, you took too long. You could just get an Eevee or something. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that one was pretty easy because you already had it. It wasn't because of Rabbit. We'll find something, Steel. Let's see. I'll have to I will have to search for something I think would suit us both. I need to come up with stuff so that I can do like merchandise. Not that I expect anybody to buy it, but you know, Carrot has his Carrot merch. He's got his Carrot sweatshirt. I need to find something. I thought about, because you know, there's like a cartoon version of everything, you know? I thought maybe like a bookshelf made out of brick building and then like cartoonized. Does that make sense? Or the word's not wording? I don't know. I don't know what else to do. Like for like a symbol or whatever. Right. That's why I'm like, if it's kind of like drawn and not overtly brick building, I think I could get away with it. That'll do it, Alex. You got too close and they connected to your headphones instead of staying through the speakers. But yeah, I don't know what to do. Because I made the name and I'm like, yeah, that's cool because I like bricks and I like reading. And now I don't know what to make for my things. So I don't have like any merch because I don't know what to make. Like, and there's tons of clip art of like an open book. But I was like, I gotta have brick building tied in there. So, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm bad at this stuff. Okay. I got all those put together. Now I have to put them on. I am not that creative. Like a step-by-step guide of how to build things, I would still have to come up with those things. I found a book at Sam's Club that was like how to build all these Harry Potter type Lego things, and I was like, ooh. Once I finish sorting, I will definitely do that. I'll think of something. Like, I don't know. But I thought if it was like a cartoonish, you know, bookshelf made out of Legos, that it might pass, you know? I don't know. Three. Gotta head out for a bit. Gotta file my taxes. Okay. Good luck. We filed our taxes. Online. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Crazy did them. He's such a good hubby. You. And you. Not you. Or you. About how much you love Lego. It would be a very short book. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oop, I heard the brick tax. I wish I could make it louder, but I can't seem to make that any louder. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So nobody's done it yet, but I'm going to see if it works, because it didn't work the other day when I tried to do it. It could be that I spelled it wrong last time, though, too, so... Well, if it has pages and the words are just... Okay, let's see if it works. Okay, it worked. Good. I wish I could make that louder too, but I don't know if it's just that I have my headphones low. Oh, I started doing this. Let me finish this one and then I'll do brick text. I don't know if it just sounds low to me because I have my headphones low, so I don't, like, you know, scare the crap out of myself with noises, or if it really is, like, low. Thank you for the epic Beer Bear. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I'm upside down. That's what we did last time. So this time we need 1, 2. Pick up 3. 1. Well, she just left to go do her taxes. I don't know. I heard it. Okay, let me do this build, and then I will go straight to Stream Raiders. Okay. Oh, there'll be a sticker next time. so rad though. Let's switch screens. We have 44 allies. Ooh, but I still managed to get them all in the circle. So 44 allies and 7 enemies. I don't know if we're gonna make it this time, guys. Let's see. There's Carrot, me of course, Beer Bear, Carrot, Rad Builds, and then some other people that probably just randomly find on the thing. Whew, we did it. It was a close one. Okay, we have to do this one. It's the only way to go, so. Let's do the bomber. Let's see if I have enough money to buy anything. I do. Let's see. This one, I won't be having enough to like input it till next time, but do I have, nope, I don't have any books. Crazy, for somebody who doesn't like talking, you talk a lot. Like, you're a social butterfly. That's alright, Rad Builds. That is totally fine. I creep and lurk in a lot of streams. Like, I don't say anything. I just have it on in the background. Either that or I say hi and I do the lurk, and then that's all I do for the rest of the time. Yeah. Crazy is the extrovert in our relationship. He will like see people in a parking lot and they'll be like, hey, I like that team too, and like start up a whole conversation. I'm like, can we just please, this is how people die. You can't be talking to random people. Like, he could be a serial killer for all you know. But he will just strike up a conversation with like anybody he meets. Those are the best costumes, where the people have like a knife and then they glued like cereal boxes to their clothing. They're a serial killer. A lot of people don't get that. They're like, I don't get it. What are you? I'm a serial killer. Duh. Oop, I picked up the one that I already put. So the leaves rotate. So these are the 4 partially opened ones. And then here are the 4 closed ones. Now I have to make the 4 open ones. I have a whole like bucket of instructions down there. But I need to go back through and scan the QR codes to get points for most of them. I go harvest my field and kill all the plants. That's right, Kevin. Do vegans not like you because you're a plant killer? Like, do the vegans protest you? Maybe. There was some scientific study done that said some plants make a noise that can't really be heard by humans. They caught it on like sub audio speakers, you know, like recording device, that the plants scream when they're like when you like rip the leaves or whatever, plants scream. So now vegans can't even eat plants. Right? They're the one murdering the plants. They're all about, don't kill things. You're killing the plants. Plants are technically alive. They grow. They drop seeds to reproduce. Technically, you're killing them too when you eat them. Look. More whips. It's a curled up whip. Yeah, vegans eat them. Like, do you notice that vegans are like crazy? Okay, like vegans to me are like the same as those extremely religious people. Like, you can't do that because I don't like it. I don't think you should do that, so you can't do that. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, they're a little like the super religious people, in that they all think because they don't do it, nobody else should do it either. Like, what is with that? They just eat vitamins. Right? Like, you're all crazy. Like, okay, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. I'm not going to force you, but I'm also not going to stop doing it just because you don't like it. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, Kevin, thank you for the lurky lurk. I won't say I eat anything because I am quite picky, but like, not because I think the plant feels bad or the animal. Like, cows would not survive in like the wild. You know what I mean? Like, they don't know how to hunt for food. They don't have any way to protect themselves. Right, like, I'm not saying, like, I know there are vegans who are content to say, I'm vegan, and leave it at that. But there are some vegans who, like, within the first 10 seconds of meeting them, they're like, just so you know, I'm vegan. Okay, well, I'm a carnivore. Nice to meet you. Like, they take being vegan as, like, their whole identity. And some of them kill me. Like, the videos, like, God, I hope this is a joke video. Like, the people who protest milk because they think you kill the cow to get the milk. Like, or my favorite is people are like, I don't eat dairy. And they don't want to eat eggs. I'm like, you do know eggs aren't dairy, right? Then why are they back there? Because it's all cold. Like, it's all things that are kept cold. Like, it's not because they are dairy. But yes, no, I agree, because it's not all religious people are like that. Not all this are like that. But they're a group that remind me a lot of like the super religious people. It's like their whole identity and the whole like shebang. And you shouldn't do it because I don't think you should do it. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm not going to force you to eat bread or milk or eggs or meat, but I'm also not going to go out of my way to accommodate you. Yeah, they think because it is in the same area, it is the same thing. No. Ooh, this is a different type of stem. Oh, this is baby's breast. Yeah. Okay, let me make sure I didn't miss any other information-y tidbits. That one's a different kind of... No, okay. It says, a symbol of everlasting love, the dainty baby's breath. They have here, like, the Latin name, but I'm not going to butcher it. Complements the fierce beauty of red roses. Apparently, I can't read today. At least out loud. I pushed that up too high. I was trying to make it go all the way in, but apparently it's not supposed to. The source of global warming is a fun one too. Yeah, is it cars? Cars, good versus bad. EV. Yeah, the big one is oil, but it's big electric. And the meat industry is why there's so much methane and land use for feeding cattle. But then it's all the humans' fault because they're, yeah, like, it's always somebody else's fault. I know, and I'm so good at them. I go from one rant to the next. So we have the baby's breath. I don't know if that's like a... Yeah, I'm going to have to go back and make 4 of these too, but I'll do it when I make the others. You never did explain. Yeah, in Europe, eggs aren't in the chilled section, but in America, they're back there with the milk. So eggs have a protective coating on them, and in America, the FDA wants them to wash that protective coating off, so then the eggs have to be refrigerated. But if you get eggs from a local farmer, he won't wash them, and that protective coating is still on the egg, so you can keep them right there on your counter. Yeah, there's a coating on the shell of the egg that gets washed away in America to make it, you know, okay to sell, and that's why we have to keep them in the fridge, and why in Europe they keep them in the regular section, not in the fridge. Right. Yeah, it's something we do to ourselves. You know, the industry does to us. Okay, so this and a curvy. Yeah. Because my mother-in-law gets eggs from a friend instead of buying them at the store from her chickens. And they don't, she just keeps them on the counter when she gets them from her because they don't wash them. So we have a thorn. These roses are going to have a thorn. But yep. Okay, it says, roses are some of the oldest known flowers in the world. Fossils date back as far as 35 million years. That's a long time. So then we got one of these upside down to make it look like it's you know, the little bits of leaves at the bottom of the rose. Then we have one of these. Clippy, clippy, clippy. And then one of these. And then this. And this. And a whip. Whip it. Whip it. Let me make sure I put this on right before I read the little information-y thingy. So that's going to be like the middle of the rose. It says, as the rose reaches maturity, the outer petals open to reveal neatly spiraled inner petals, which are represented by a Lego whip. Joe is still eating. I just want to go to bed. Yeah, it's hard. You gotta stay up or else he'll stay up well into the night. boy Wonder was being especially sassy yesterday. So the deal that they do their own laundry is because they get to stay up later. Like, you do your laundry as a big kid chore, an adult chore, whatever you want to call it, and you get to stay up later, right? Well, he did his laundry, but part of his doing his laundry is getting it folded and put away. So yesterday before school, I was like, hey, did you get your laundry folded? You know, because you washed it almost a week ago. His wash day is Wednesday, and now it's Monday. And he was like, no. And I was like, okay, well then when you come home, you can't be on any form of video game. You can't. He has a phone that technically there's no, like, it just uses Wi-Fi. I was like, you can't be on your phone, you can't be on your computer, you can't play your Switch, none of that until, you know, as punishment for not doing your laundry. And he was like, I was like, or the other option is you can start going back to bed at 8:30 and I'll do your laundry. And he's like, it's not like it matters. It's not like it affects anything. And I was like, okay, then you can start going back to bed at 8:30 and I'll do your laundry. And he's like, no, I think I'll keep going to bed at 9. And I was like, I thought it didn't matter. I thought it didn't affect anything. And he's like, no, I'll do it. And I was like, well, you know, consequences or actions have consequences. It's your job to do your laundry, and by not doing that, you need a consequence, which is not getting to play anything. What else would you like me to do? You know? He's like, no. You touched the grass. Was it wet? Was it cold? Threw out a poopy diaper and checked the mail. I cloth diapered my kids. There were no diapers to throw away. There were poopy diapers to clean up, though. So this is how it kind of looks like all open. Okay, now 4 of these. So we had a sprayer attached to the toilet, and I would spray the poopy excrement into the toilet and then flush it. I saw your sloth hood, and I will do it in just 1 second. Let me get these big pedals on. Wife didn't want poopy diaper washing machine. Well, see, that's what we did. We sprayed them off, like the poop right into the toilet, and then there wasn't really like a poopy wash machine. Okay, was it sloth hood and then diamond dot? Okay. Sorry, I'm sitting on my sloth hood, so I had to stand up to get it. Joe's consequences for taking forever to eat is that he doesn't get his chocolate bar until tomorrow night. Yep, because it's too close to bedtime. I don't know if other people do it, but we didn't let the kids eat. I say I didn't let them eat. Not like you can't have food, but like an hour before their bedtime was like no more snacks, only water, and not a ton of that either, because otherwise you're just gonna keep going to the bathroom, you know. But like an hour before bedtime, no more snacks, because, you know, it's too close to bedtime. I don't know that it does that, but we were just like, you don't need to eat right before you go to bed. Okay, time 45. Okay. You know, like, oh, that was just our thing. Right, like, you know, it's and a half an hour before bed. There's no more TV, no more electronics. Brush your teeth, get dressed for bed. So this way, it's like the calming down. But yeah, it was no more food an hour before bedtime. The drink especially while they were potty training and stuff, was to hopefully limit the getting up and going to the bathroom. Yeah. Well, it's dark outside. Time for bed. Yeah, we used all kinds of things. As they get older, some of the stuff can't continue to be used, but it worked when it worked, so that's all that mattered. Right? Like, you know, you change it as they grow, but in the end, it's all because I said so. Just, in better terms. In nicer ways, but basically means I'm the adult. Do what I say. But yeah, kids are, when they're young, you got to use what you got. And we were talking about that in Carrots, like, to some extent, you're going to screw your kids up. It's just how much you screw them up. And in what way. Because, like, some of the stuff I read, I'm like, God, I hope that is just like somebody who has a great imagination and made this story up. Like, it was an MA the A-hole story, and I'll wait till we're back from chat to start it, but it was just like, God, I hope this is all made up, because it is just horrible. Like, where that logic came from. Okay, we're back. So, yes, when your kids are small, you use what you got. And sometimes, if you broke it down and you didn't try to make it sound prettier, it all means I'm your parent, do what I say. You may explain it better or whatever, but the gist of it is that I make the rules, you do what I say. But you're gonna mess up your kid. It's just to what extent, because hindsight is 2020. You can only do what you can do in that moment. Like, it may seem like the best choice you have right then, but then later when they're older, they're like, why'd you do that? And you explain it, and they're like, but couldn't you have done this? No, I couldn't have. That wasn't an option then. You know what I mean? But so I like to listen to the Am I the A-hole stories, because I'm like, really? Like, some of those stories are just crazy. But there was one the other day that was like extra crazy, and I'm like, God, I just hope that it is somebody's really good imagination and that they made up this story. So this mom goes on to say that her daughter is like 21 and still lives with her, and she's not going to school anymore. And that she just came home and told her she's pregnant, and that it's her fault she's pregnant. And she's like, huh? Her daughter, when she hit her teen years, said she was non-binary. Wanted to be called they, them. And she's like, fine, I'll do that. And then, it was kind of like, I don't want to say she was doing it for attention, but sounding like the way the story sounded, it was not like she really felt that way, but it was a way to like rebel or something against her mom, you know, or make it more difficult for her mother, because throughout the story she like flip-flops a lot. And like I said, I don't want to say that, maybe that's just how she feels, I don't know. But in the end, she was dating a boy, and then she got pregnant, and she blamed her mom because it was her mom's fault that she hadn't put her on hormone blockers as a teenager, and that it was her fault because she only suggested birth control that had hormones in it because she wanted to control her. And that's why she didn't take the birth control, because her mom only suggested those kinds to control her. But at 21, your mom's not controlling you anymore. Like, you can set up a doctor's appointment and go yourself. And then, so she doesn't want to get rid of the baby. She has this grand plan that her mom is going to take this baby and tell the baby that it's her baby, and she got pregnant late in life from like a one-night stand, and that her daughter, who's the real mother, is her sister. And when the mom's like, I'm not doing that, I'm not going to raise your child as my own. Like, I'm not going to raise another child. I'm not going to force you to get rid of it. But if you choose to keep the baby and not have an abortion, not give it up for adoption, then you will be in charge. You will have to get a job, and you will have to provide for the baby. You know, kind of a deal. And the daughter just like flipped out. Like, how are you going to do that? This is all your fault. I'm pregnant. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be pregnant right now. Like, the mom's like, I did not force you to have unprotected intercourse. It's not my fault. And I'm not going to be responsible for your choices. And I was like, Jesus, I hope this is wrong, because from the sounds of it, this lady did everything she could to give her daughter a good life, but and you know, like, not make her get a job when she was younger, and maybe not make her do chores or things like that. And now, in the end, according to her daughter, she screwed her up anyway, and it's still all her fault. Like, I'm like, I hope this is just the product of somebody's imagination, and this is not like a real thing. But some of the, I mean, I like to listen to the Am I the A-holes, but like, some of the stories are just like crazy. And the mom was like, she never asked to be on a different type of birth control. She never came to me and said she wanted to be on the hormone blockers. So, how, you know what I mean? Like, I can't do something I don't know anything about. And I still didn't choose, like, you know, like, I still was not the one who went out and had the unprotected intercourse resulting in the baby. But I'm like, man, that's what I say. As a parent, you're always going to screw up your kids. It's just in what way? Because some kids grow up, and like this story where, like, no matter how great their life was, it was still their parents' fault they didn't have something. Like, I didn't get a G-Wagon for my 16th birthday. My parents were horrible. And like, you realize you're complaining about not getting a super expensive car when some kids, like, don't have clean clothes, don't have clothes that fit, don't have a place to live. Like, so in some aspect, there's always the potential to mess up your children, because you can't control how they view things as they get older. Like, oh, my mom was horrible. She made me get a job. My mom was horrible. When I turned 18, she told me I had to start paying rent. If I didn't go to school, I have to pay rent. Isn't that horrible? How could she not just let me live there for free for my whole life? Right? Like, some of them are just like crazy. Like the way they turn it back on their parents. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, I hope none of my kids do that. But you can't, you're not in charge of how your children see it as an adult or as a teenager or as just, as they get older. Okay, these beads do not want to stick. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, so like my kids, even at a Fantasy, who's 15, she has a phone, but she has no social media. No Facebook, no Snapchat, no TikTok, no Instagram, none of it. No Twitter or X, whatever it's called. No social media. I guess I shouldn't say none, because she does technically have a Pinterest account and you can message on that, so she could have a form of social media. But yeah, like it's like an entitled sense, like I deserve it. You chose to have me, so I'm entitled to this. But just because your parents chose to have you does not mean you're entitled to anything. Yeah, like clothing, food, shelter, but like you're not entitled to a car at 16. You're not entitled to an iPhone, like it's crazy what some people think they're entitled to. Like there was an Am I the A-hole kind of story where the guy, his daughter was like 16 and became vegan and demanded that they buy her like all kinds of like these brand new expensive pots and pans that only she could cook her non-vegan food in, and that they not cook meat while she's in the house. Like I guess that's what it is. It's like this sense of entitlement that because this is what you want, you should just get it. And in the way, in its own way, it's a little bit of parents' fault because you haven't taught your child that they're not entitled to things. He's gonna build a cat house out of cushions, like a fort, but a cat house. I got my car at 21 so I could interview for jobs from an aunt, but that was it. I didn't have a cell phone in college, so I was using email, meetup coordinates for my party. Right, like you have to teach that fine line between entitlement, which is a bad thing, and that yes, you have an identity and you can request things. It's definitely an interesting, because at some point what they're doing, what the child is how they are acting or whatever, now that they're 18, 19, you kind of as a parent let that happen because you didn't teach them the difference when they were younger. So now you've unleashed that on the world. That's the thing. I'm always saying, like, I'm trying to raise kids that aren't assholes. My 3-year-old is too smart. Yeah, like, sometimes it's just like, what? But yeah, I don't know what he's gonna do. It's probably gonna be imaginary. Maybe he's gonna draw it out. Right? But like, it's a fine balance sometimes. But when they whine, I always just say I'm trying not to raise assholes. That's my whole thing. Like, I'm just trying to raise children that when they become adults and they are unleashed on the world, they are not complete and utter assholes. Okay, this one had a little tidbit thing. It said the oldest living rose is more than 1,000 years old. Let's go to Stream Raiders. Put our little thingy up. We have 44 allies. And 13 enemies. I think we'll be good. Today is Rainbow Kitty birthday. She was saying earlier, yesterday was Pluto Yellow Valentine's Day and Clifford Red Valentine's Day. I mean, some of the stuff they come up with as little kids is just like, where did you get that? I think Boy Wonder, when he was little one day, he was just like, did you know Santa brings kangaroos? And we're like, huh? He's like, yeah, Santa's in charge of kangaroos. And we're like, that's interesting. I got 1 and no assists. You got 1. You got 1 kill. Okay, this will be our last battle because I'm going to have to go a little bit over to finish these roses. So let's do... Who do I got? We'll do the gladiator. Yeah, I didn't get any money that time. So, no upgrading my person. Okay, 10, 3, 6, 8, 9, 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just told me that he loves that I have hands. It's one of those days, I see. They say the weirdest things sometimes. So Boy Wonder learned very early on that if he couldn't win an argument by like, I am right, he will win an argument by confusing people. So he was in some kind of argument with Crazy. Not like a real argument, but like he wanted his way and Crazy was like, no, this is why. And he kept like arguing back and forth. And finally, he just looked at Crazy and he went, yeah, well, I like peaches, and stormed off. And Crazy's like, huh? I was like, you just lost an argument to a 4-year-old. And he was like, how did I lose? I was like, because he got the last word and he left first. And he was like, I can't believe I just like got in an argument and lost to a 4-year-old. And I was like, yep. So that's our stem. Oh. Says, in ancient Rome, roses were used as decorations in prominent homes and council gatherings. Subjects discussed sub rosa, under the rose, were regarded as confidential or secret. Okay, back to the beginning. Yeah. He just like, yeah, well, I like peaches, and stormed out. And we're like, huh? I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure you just lost. Yeah, he learned pretty quickly that if he couldn't win an argument, he would just confuse the other person. And then he felt as if he won. Where's the other set? Okay, 1,000,000 white flowers. That's what we're going with. Because I'm gonna need to do like 9 small small bushes. Yep. I learned a long time ago, like, to either not engage in the argument with him, or to make sure I could win it. Dobby ears. Okay. Oh, it didn't do it. I didn't hear it. Maybe it just didn't hear it. Because I put a sound effect on that. Let me make sure I turned it up. Maybe it's not turned up. Let me... Edit effects. Edit effects. No, it is all the way up. It's supposed to be... Was it, Snake going Dubby? It's on. Floppy ears. Okay, and Vortex. We need sticker. Two of those. Two of those. One, two of those. So do that, and then this. I see Trell in the battle. He must be lurkins. He's a lurkin. He's a lurkin. Okay, find my brick separator. And sticker number 2. Oh, it's made to look like wood. Like shutters. Let's see if I can do this without... Nope, I felt that go wiggly at the last second. Oh well. So, they're gonna go... right here. Like little shutters. Okay. Oop, I forgot to put the book in there. Okay. 1,000,000 little white flowers. Whatever 9 times 6 is. 54 white flowers. So the cat just broke into my housemates. Listen, either she learned how to open door handles or he didn't have it closed all the way and she just let herself in. Unless this cat knows how to lockpick, she didn't break in. As long as she didn't lock herself in the office and then can't get out when she needs to, you're fine. We keep seeing people like, we need to rehome our cat. And yelled as loud as she could in the middle of one of them. Well, she's demanding attention. We keep seeing people who are like, we need to rehome our cat, and I think about it because I wouldn't mind a cat, but then I also fear the cat knocking all the Legos over. And we'd have to take the cat camping with us. Like, you know. I don't know about that. Okay, little flower. Get on the thing. Stop falling. Right? Like, we had a cat before, but the cat was more like a dog. It just laid there. It didn't really do anything. It was fantastic. It was a cat dog. But I'm worried about like getting another one. Really, the reason we hadn't gotten another pet was because we were finally in a spot both for the age of the kids and financially where we could like go away for a weekend or whatever and it not be a big deal. So that's why we haven't gotten another pet, is so that we can kind of come and go, you know, with not as much worry. So you know, it was a bit of both. Like, I don't really want to take care of another living thing right now, and two, like we are at a place where we can kind of go away without as much worry, like financially and stuff like that. And the kids are old enough that it's not like load up literally everything you own in the car to go some, you know, even if it's just for a night. So we are holding off on another animal of any kind. Okay, now we need 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so I think we're gonna continue to hold off. Don't get me wrong, I was like, oh, I love pets, but I just, you know, right now I'm like, I don't want to take care of another living thing. I'm kind of winding down on having to take care of the living things that are already in my house. I don't want to start building that back up just yet. Don't get me wrong, I love pets, but you know, I like our current situation where we can, okay, I will put it back on as soon as I am done connecting these. I like the ability to, I must not have put a cooldown on that. Or, well, maybe it has been a half an hour. I like not having to, like, worry about, oh, we can't go anywhere, or we have to find somebody to watch them or take them with if we want to go somewhere. So. Ooh, okay, I can't wear sloth hood and headbands. And I didn't look at the time, but we'll call that. Okay, now I gotta put. Okay, so there are 4 baby's breath. Now we gotta go on to build more of this of the roses. One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2. So I put in like 5 different pre-orders for the book signing next month, because each author has their own pre-order, you know, because you pay at each author's table, not like all one big thing. But 3 of the pre-orders have come, like they've created the invoice and sent it to me, so I paid for 3 of them. I think Crazy's glad that I only go to signings every once in a while, because he is like, how much did you spend already? Great. But I have 2 more authors, I think, that I need their pre-orders, the invoice to come so I can pay them. But I haven't been to a signing in like 3 years. Oh yeah, they are. And if one, you know, if the author were to strike it big, you know, some of them would be worth money because those covers don't exist anymore. Like I have some that like those specific covers don't exist anymore. They've been changed. Because, you know, it's like anything else. They update covers and things like that. And then some of the books I have, one book I have on the back is my quote from a review. And that cover doesn't exist anymore. She has switched the cover up since then. And another one of them, I'm in the dedication because I was one of the first people to ever read her book, like outside of her circle. So that's pretty cool. They have like sentimental value to me. Not to anybody else, but to me. But yes, I will spend way too much money there, the same as I would a Lego Expo. Like, I only pre-order from the authors that I, like, really, really like. But I still buy other books there at the signing. Kind of. It's not like my book, but it is my review that they put on the cover and stuff like that. So that's cool. Okay, there's that part. Now. Right. Like, it's still pretty cool. And like I said, it really only has sentimental value to me. Nobody else is really gonna care. But I like it. Welcome in, Primal Freeze. How are you doing today? Welcome in as a first-time chatter. We are kind of talking about nothing and everything. We just pop from one subject to the next. But yeah. So Crazy is pretty happy the book signings only happen every once in a while because our bank account could not sustain it. Then again, maybe if I went more often, I wouldn't buy as much each time because I'd already have them. I don't think he likes that theory, though. Whoop whoop! My work day will soon be beginning because the children will be home. Yesterday, I left Carrot Stream at like 2:30 and I left the house at like 2:40 to go sit in the pickup line, and I did not stop running people around till like 5 o'clock. You can either sprinkle it around in smaller doses or do bigger more events in one go. Yeah. So they're mostly like indie authors, self-published, but I have like, I don't know, between 200 and 300 signed copies. I have a lot. Workday ends before. Yeah. I would start. Yeah, you don't have to be up so early. You could have slept in at least an hour longer. But yes, I usually spend like $400 there, which is, I know, an obscene amount of money, but yeah, like I said, they're mostly indie authors, so it's not like, I don't know, it's not quite the same, but I have a lot, yes. Some I have won in like giveaways, and some I have bought, and some the authors have just sent me. Like 2 of the authors I used to read for, like I would review their books before they came out. The one author would just like send me her books. Like I open the door to the mailman and there'd be a box of books. I have like a blanket with one of her, like she went to like some company and had her book cover put on this blanket and then sent it to me. And then another author I used to read for her, I contacted her one day and I was like, do you have signed copies of your books? Like I can order them. And she's like, I do. Not all of them currently, because, you know, like she was reducing the amount she kept on hand. And I was like, well, tell me how much they are. And she's like, you review every one of my books and you're in all these chats and you're constantly supporting me. I'm not charging you anything, and sent me like one of every copy she had it on hand signed. So like some of them I've won, some of them I've given, some of them I've bought. But yes, I love I love it. It's so much fun. But that is my other day job. I read and review books. And then so usually you get the book for free like an e-copy. And then I write a review about it, about whether I liked it, what I liked about it, you know. And then go on about my business. But yeah. So, I'm really excited. The one author that's going to be at the signing next month, she's an Australian author. I met her, I don't know, probably like 5 years ago now. Was the first time I like met her in person. And so now she's going to be at this signing again, so I'm super excited. You wrote a book, Primal? That's fantastic. I'm not creative enough to write a book. Like, my brain doesn't work that way. I can read like all day long, but I'm like, I couldn't write a book. That's a whole nother can of worms. Okay. This. I think it's awesome that you wrote a book. That's all right. Listen, writing a book is difficult, let alone writing two. Like the headspace it takes to do that is like crazy. I know some of them write like a book a month, and I'm like, I don't know how you do that. Like the muses must be speaking to you like nonstop. I've been doing the reading and reviewing for about almost 10 years now. For about 10 years. I really liked to read, and I was writing reviews anyway, and this lady contacted me, and she's like, hey, I'm starting up a blog company. Would you be interested in being a reviewer? And I was like, well, like, I don't have a blog or anything. I was like, I have a Facebook page where I just share, like, sales I find. You know, like if a book is on sale or there's, like, a list of free ones where I share it. And she's like, that's fine. Just, you know, write your review, put it on Goodreads, on Amazon, whatever. And I was like, okay. And then based off of, like, really liking that, I started a blog. And now it's been going for about 10 years. And I always feel really bad when I volunteer to read a book and then I don't like it. Like, based off the blurb, you thought it was going to be one thing. And then you realize that it was nothing like the blurb. Like, the two things did not connect the way, you know what I mean? I always feel then, like, super bad about it. Okay, you're a flower, you're not. Yeah, it's a long time. I've been, so I read between 250 and 300 books a year, usually. 2, 3. I don't think I could review books because people pour their hearts into them, and then I can't help feeling all just. And that's what the thing is you get to pick which books you read. So I've had people complain, like, not people who are fellow reviewers, but like somebody will start to follow me on Goodreads, and then they'll be like, all yours are 4 and 5 star review. Not every book can be good. No, but I know what I like based on the blurb. So I'm not going to go out and purposely pick books that I know I'm not going to like and then lower the rating because I picked a book I know I won't like. So yeah, all the books I read are 4 and 5 stars because I know what books I like. So I pick books I know I'll like. You know what I mean? 2, 3, 4. Like, I am not big on like books that have like a hardcore religion in them. So I'm not going to pick one of those books because I know to me that'll be a 1 or a 2-star read. And why would I volunteer to read for an author when I'm not going to give their book a good review? You're reviewing more a genre or a formula. Right. Like, I know I like books in this genre. So chances are I will like a book that is written in that genre. You know, that's not to say I'll like every book in that genre, but there's a better chance that I will like one in that genre. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's a little like, I why would I pick one I know I'm not going to like? If I don't even like the blurb, I know I'm not going to like it. So, let's see. When his magic disturbs a slumbering demon, Dimitri the Exarch is sent to France to find the only person that can help him banish the demon that broke through. Upon his arrival, it's clear that the if I can keep on a line, it's clear that the demon Ezekiel has beaten him here. Dimitri must then use every last bit of his magic to find the demon and thwart his evil plans. Ooh, that sounds good. Right? I'm like, ooh, where do I find this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I see the battle is ready. Let me finish attaching these because then I'll be done. That sounds really interesting, Primal. Sounds like something I'd read. Get on Kindle and Amazon has it. What's the title? And I'll go look it up. Well, I mean, there's some religion, and then there's books that are like, if you just pray to God hard enough, you won't be afraid of the fire anymore. Like, dude, you're stuck in a fire. Stop praying to God and just find a way out. Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, in almost all fantasy and stuff like that, there's some religious connotation. But I'm talking about like the ones that are like crazy fanatical. Angels and demons, so it kind of makes sense, right? Like there's religion in it, and then there's like preachy. I read the RuneScape books, but I only have 2/3. I can't get the third one in print, so I haven't yet read it. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to like get them in print. Okay, let's quick do the stream raiders. I can't talk today. No, wrong one. Stream wasn't ending. 45 allies and 18 enemies. I think we'll make it. Okay, I'll probably have raided out because I just have to finish attaching these and then find somebody to raid to. But thank you for stopping by. It was great to have you in here. I have to add your name to my shouty out thingy. I gotta find my pen. I try to add everybody as they come in to the shout out thing, so it'll auto do it because I'm horrible at remembering to do it as I see people come in. Ooh, we're still going. Look at Crazy, 23 assists, and Beer Bear, 13 kills, man. You put it out there that you wanted all the kills, and it happened this time. I would say, do we have to beat the house up? To destroy the house? I guess they hide in the house, and we had to destroy the house. We did it! And it looks like we only lost a couple people. Okay, so I will give Beer Bear the money and Crazy, and then we will just let it random pick the third one. You did do a thing. 14 kills. And Crazy had 25 assists. That is crazy. Okay, I don't know what it just did. Maybe it claimed out and then restarted? Nope. Oh, it changed its mind. It wanted me to drop Orc Slayers. Well, I guess I'll have to worry about that next time. Right? 25 assists is a nice thing. I meant store, you silly Knigget. Yeah, that's probably not enough money to buy anything. Nope. Okay, I'll close it out. Okay, let's connect these last ones. So these are our fully opened roses. Let me see if I have something I can set them up in so you can at least kind of see what they all look like. I will put it on my Be Right Back screen, and I will be right back. Okay, it probably won't stay in here, but we can do it for now. I won this mug from an author at a book signing. Like, some tables will do like giveaways, and so this was, I won it and I just left it as she had it. But we will use it today for this. It probably won't stay in here, but we'll give it a try. So there's our 4 open ones and our baby's breath. And then our partially open ones. Finally got Joe to bed, and now he's up again. Right? Sometimes it's just there's no winning. They might stay in here. Who knows? I don't know. I'm just trying to stick them all in there. But they seem to fit well, so maybe I will keep them in there. Try to... Nope, silly camera. There we go. I'll figure it out yet. There we go. There's all our roses. And they're a deeper red than the thing shows. And I could put these little beads back down at the bottom. Maybe I'll keep them in here and then it can go on my bookshelf. There's lots of Legos on my bookshelf. So I have my books, and then I put like little of like the brick heads and like smaller sets in front. I have the Disney Duos on my bookshelves to keep my books company. You know, because they get lonely. I know, I like them. They're so pretty. And the best thing is I didn't spend 60 bucks and then they die in 3 days. Because I can't keep things alive. My children and pets only survive because they can tell me they're hungry. Plants cannot do the same. when we first started dating, Crazy would buy me flowers. Like, he would just randomly have them delivered to our apartment or the house we lived in. And I was like, that is very sweet, but please stop doing that because they just die. So I put the little beads back in the bottom, but they fit in here pretty well. Right? Maybe switch this one and this one, since this one's kind of taller. Yeah, I'll put that back the other way. Welcome in, Beauty and the Geek. We are actually just finishing up, but we did, as you can see, roses today. And they have baby's breath in there with them. 1, 2, 3. Where did the fourth one go? Oh, it got stuck right next to it, so we've got to spread that out. There we go. But I think they turned out good and that they look good in this mug. It's just the right height to kind of keep them all looking nice together. Okay, and I'll put the heart kind of just down in there on the side. Let me see who else is on.
This whole game is rigged.
It totally is. This game is rigged hard. Let's see how long they've been on. About an hour and a half. How about that? Closer to 2. Yes, but that's okay. I know I stream early in the day for a lot of people. But it works best for me because the kids aren't home and I don't have to worry about them making noise or asking for things or whatever. Let's see. Every once in a while, Crazy is like super delayed too. He'll have to like refresh because he'll be like 10 or 15 seconds behind. But we'll raid into KK raids and or KK builds, not KK raids. I can't, words are hard. Let's see if FrostyBot will do the raid thing. But I will add that other redeem in for next time. For like a longer diamond dot thing. And I have a new game to try out that we might play on Sunday. I don't know what I'm doing Thursday. I think I'll do the watering pot Thursday and maybe a little bit of video games. But thank you all for coming and hanging out. Thank you for Primal Freeze as a first time chatter, and I will check out. Let me go back up and find the title of your book, and I will check that out. Spirit Link. I keep forgetting where I put my pen.